This countdown?
The countdown?
Yeah, the number is counting down. It shows them on my screen. I didn't know.
No, it just says live right now.
Okay, well, I mean, I know we're live now. Hey, everybody, we're live.
We're doing real well.
This is Dane Dormio. Thank you for joining us on the Tai Chi web show. Me and my buddy Andrew. How you doing, Andrew?
Doing real well, brother. How are you?
I'm excellent. I wanted to really have a chance for people to hear about what a teaching day in the life of Andrew is like, and hear about the offerings that we have going on in San Diego, because right now we have a number of meetup groups in San Diego. We that are teaching ongoing classes in addition to our online learning community and our online and video education resources. So I wanted people to have a chance, people who are in San Diego or who may be visiting San Diego, because when you're leading these meetup groups, sometimes people from out of town check out Meetup and they come in just to see if they're in town for a weekend or a little while. They want to check out a Tai Chi class. So there's a number of different classes that you're teaching. They're all on Saturday because you're working this in around your day job and your other entrepreneurial pursuits. So on your typical Saturday, what are the classes that you teach? And I guess just start with just that. What are the classes like? What are what's the topics and what's the order of the classes on Saturday?
Gotcha. Well, Dane, I teach a good variety class, actually. I've been developing this schedule over about a year of teaching downtown, volunteering with Tai Chi, and making sure that people, start to learn the benefits of the art of Tai Chi.
Yeah,
Tai Chi is a huge subject, and there's a lot of aspects to it. But so I start out the morning. The morning, it tends to be for the people who are really eager and really want to learn. So you come out in the cold and you come out, you wake up with an alarm usually, and you come out and it's awesome. It's called the push hands class, or Tway.
Yeah, the most dedicated students come in the early morning, right?
Yeah. So I have a small class in the morning where we have 3 to 4 people sometimes. So sometimes 1 to 2. But it's a very intimate class. You learn a lot, and we have a great time. And no one gets hurt.
Well, you said push hands, Twisho, and that's with that class. Push hands is something that Tai Chi people are probably familiar with, but non-Tai Chi people might not be familiar with. So who's this specific class for? You mentioned it's people who are most dedicated, but who specifically enjoys and gets the most benefit out of this class?
Okay, so that's a big question, because push hands is actually practiced in many different martial arts. Even karate have their own style of push hands. It's just how you implement it. So we teach the Tai Chi style of push hands, where I've been exposed to other styles like Bagua, Yichuan, Xingyi, Wing Chun push hands, or their own contact sport. Where it's all about balance and controlling the flow of the fight. And so it's like it's a pretty serious game of chess once you get advanced. In the beginning, it's all about, can I keep myself from moving for just the 5 seconds before this guy throws me on the ground. But usually we don't throw you on the ground because we practice on cement, because it's early in the morning and the grass is wet. But mostly it's anyone interested in the strategy game of balance. Mm-hmm. The push hands is the game that improves your Tai Chi. It teaches you applications, how to defend and attack, how to maintain your balance, how to shift weight back into your opponent, even though they're pressing on you. It's a really impressive skill to have. And I highly recommend it.
So the push hands is kind of the hands-on version, because when a lot of people think of Tai Chi and especially Qigong, but Tai Chi is like a solo activity. You learn the form or you do it. It's a solo thing. But it also involves hands-on version. At least if you want it to be practical in terms of developing practical physical skills. And if you want to radically accelerate the development of things like balance and structure and sensitivity, then putting hands on people and actually there's like having the hands-on experience of working with a partner to develop each other's skills even faster, is kind of what push hands is about. It sounds like what you're saying.
Yeah. Push hands is a great way to improve your Tai Chi quickly because it teaches you. Well, it makes you avoid the bad habits. So all those little things you get from just practicing by yourself, you don't notice them until someone's actually pushing on you or you're trying to push on them. And then you're like, whoa, this doesn't work at all. What am I doing? And then you realize you can sink, and then you take their balance without effort. And so that kind of realization happens a lot during push hands.
Yeah, it helps you be really aware of your defects and your weaknesses so you can correct them.
Definitely.
And so you said this is the first morning class, and then what's the next class?
So right after push hands, we have about a half-hour break, and then we have a very basic, fundamental Tai Chi class, a non-denominational Tai Chi class, if you will.
Yeah,
so basic, every Tai Chi style has benefits from this class. So
yeah, it's compatible with all Tai Chi styles.
Oh yeah, it's totally compatible with all. So I've practiced the 4 major family styles and competition Tai Chi. So I know a lot about the range of Tai Chi. And this class is just the very, very basic stuff. And learning this is like learning all of Tai Chi. Because once you can do this stuff, then you got 90% of the effort that Tai Chi pushes on you.
I guess it sounds like it's kind of like being able to make bricks. If you can make bricks, you can build whatever you want, right?
Very important. Yes, yeah. If you can take the very small things and make them the big thing, then you did a good job.
Yeah,
because it's all basics, right? Kung Fu. There is no advanced Kung Fu. It's just basic Kung Fu.
So, this is basic Kung Fu you get really good at.
Yeah. So my class is basic, and we go through in 1 hour. I teach this almost every single time: how to breathe, how to warm up, how to meditate, how to walk with the balance, how to feel your entire self, and how to feel an opponent with just one touch. If you get through all these things, it's like, wow, I have a lot of skill that very few people have access to because they don't practice.
Yeah. So that's what this fundamental Tai Chi class. Who is it for, and who comes and who gets the most benefit out of this?
Well, it's for any and all who wish to learn the great art of the great ultimates. But I have students. I've had 6-year-old students, and I've had 90-year-old students. And benefit, Tai Chi is just one of those things. It doesn't matter what age you start; you can just go for the rest of your life after that point.
I hope you got video of the 6-year-old. I'm sure that must have been adorable.
Yeah, it's fine. They don't really pay attention. They start, and then they like, oh, look at the koi pond. So it's in between on that young.
And this class is held at the Chinese Historical Museum, which has a great community, and it's actually hosted through their meetup as well. And so I know that this class is a great class for anybody to come to. People often are kind of timid about it. Like they say, "Oh, is it okay to come if I've never done Tai Chi before?" No, if you've never done Tai Chi, you can never learn it. No, of course it's okay to come if you've never done it before. Everybody's got to start somewhere. Everybody's a beginner before they start. And so this is a great class to come to if you've never done anything, don't know any Tai Chi. It's especially good. And I also know that there are returning students, people
Oh
who keep coming every Saturday and have a nice solid practice that's built around this. So if you it sounds like if you wanted to get started, to get introduced, and knew nothing, or just wanted to kind of get a taste of what it was all like, this would be a good place to dip your toe in.
yes, definitely.
That's great. And what if for people who do come in and come to this class regularly and practice these practices that you teach there, what are the benefits from doing that? What kind of what are benefits do people enjoy?
Well, other than all the ones I already mentioned, the chief three: health, wellness, and longevity. Because you get healthy by learning this stuff, by fixing your posture. You get long wellness from that. And then longevity is because you start cultivating the chi pill, which is the only way to immortality.
Yeah, that's that's great. That those are big three, definitely: health, wellness, and longevity. Huge reasons that people seek out Tai Chi and Qigong and meditation and exercise and breath work, and why not combine all three together? So um, the health the people who are just beginning, and especially people who are really interested in the health, wellness, and longevity aspects. This is a good place for them to come and kind of learn how to establish a personal practice that will benefit them potentially for years to come.
Yeah, I teach multiple things during the class that I tell people just practice this every day for the rest of your life, and you'll be happy and healthy.
Yeah, and
only
and
two or three actually do it. They all should, but only two or three actually come back and be like, "Oh, I actually did the meditation for 5 minutes. It was really hard." I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. Do it for 15." And just feel
but they also say it was really great, right? It was great. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's all positive. It's never like, "Oh, I started meditating every day and then my life has gone to shit."
You're right. The it was right there. The yeah, it's the benefits come from developing your own practice, and there's actually something else I wanted to ask you about that too. But
No.
I get, is this what they call a brain fart, where you were just about to say something and
Well, let's just move on to the next class.
oh, health, wellness, and longevity. Health, wellness, and longevity.
Yeah.
Being being something that a lot of people are looking for, and right, there's the research is in that 1 minute of qigong adds 7 minutes of life, or no, maybe it's vice versa. I should know this. I just posted about it.
7 minutes to your life.
Right, that's 1 minute of qigong adds 7 minutes of life. I just posted about it. I should know. Well, and this actually comes from Jane McGonigal's book Super Better. There's research behind it, but yeah. So just like having this weekly group practice to anchor your daily practice is huge, and practicing a little bit every day statistically. That's what the numbers say. 1 minute of qigong adds 7 minutes of life. So. That's I know that class is listed on a couple of meetup groups, ours, and then the San Diego Chinese Historical Museums, and then you also have what's the next class after that?
So right after Tai Chi, everyone's warmed up and feels good. then I go back to the park where we teach push hands and I teach a self-defense class. So these are like good hardcore skills that keep you safe from almost every single thing I can imagine. Uh, we go through awareness, so you learn how to be self-aware of, know your own posture and feel where your balance is, feel where your spine is, make sure your head where you feel that is, how your senses are, and then you move on to learning how to improve your vision by seeing everything instead of just focusing on one detail. And then we teach you how to hear better by having you go into a meditative state, and then I make sounds and I have you point them out to me. Tell me where that sound came from by just using your hands. And so I test you, but I also teach you.
Yeah, that's great. That's something I hadn't thought of, but that's huge, and it has. I'm sure that it has all kinds of benefits for the whole proprioceptive system, aside from just the sound. That's really great. Developing the senses, and it's beautiful how it ties in with qigong and the aspect of meditative awareness too. So that's really beautiful how I mean people don't usually think of qigong or of tai chi as being something you want to learn for self-defense, and this is certainly not what people usually think of as Tai Chi, but Tai Chi is originated as a martial art. Some would say it still is, and
it is.
And so it sounds like this class is just about developing the awareness and practical self-defense skills to keep yourself safe. Self-preservation being a very key part of wellness and longevity.
Oh yeah.
Right.
If you don't make it into tomorrow, it's not going to be easy to live a long life.
Right. So who's this class for, and who comes and who stands to benefit from this kind of training?
So anyone can benefit from this training, but the people that tend to show up are smaller women. So I have a lot of students who are like 100 to 150-pound women who I know for a fact some of them have been assaulted. And so I make sure that they get attention, and I use myself as kind of a dummy for them to really feel what it is to knock down someone who's double their size. And without, I take a little damage, but I'm pretty good at cushioning all the blows. So I've been okay so far. But it's a lot of women, but I've taught men many times, and we have no issues. Sometimes the men are a little exuberant and maybe have a little training behind them, and they come in with a kind of an ego, and I have to let them kind of beat it out on me, and I'm like, okay, that was great. Let's get back to what we're doing now. Really hard. It wasn't that big a deal. All right, let's go back to the exercise and control ourselves.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Pause.
It's very interesting.
We have. Just one second. I'll turn my mic off. We have some microphone feedback. Okay, perfect. It's really interesting everything that you're saying, because it works for everybody, and it's great training for anybody, because I mean self-defense principles are really universal, but it particularly appeals to women, especially smaller women, and especially women who and smaller people in general who have reason to feel unsafe or feel at risk, or who have history and experiences in their past that have given them reason to feel unsafe in their own body, and so I think that's really telling. And and also I've noticed it too that women tend to when women come, especially for self defense, like for self defense classes specifically, women are ready to learn,
Mhm.
and and men are not quite as fast learners usually, and often have some ego or just some prior programming in the way. And really, like just like with everything we do, the beginner's mind is where you learn the fastest. In the expert's mind, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are a few. So emptying your cup is the fastest way to learn and become aware of new possibilities.
Yep, definitely. I totally agree with that.
So what kind of benefits do people experience from practicing this from this self defense class?
Well, so we go through awareness, avoidance, and then attack, and we learn all three levels of that. Once you've done the class once or twice, you awareness and avoidance become more of just a routine, like quick. Tell me what those are, and then we're done with it. And then we're okay. We go back to attack, and I teach you how the anatomy works, teach you how to use your structure on their structure instead of trying having 100-pound woman use her fists and just beat me back with all of her might, because I'm just like, it doesn't matter. You can hit me as hard as you want, and I'm not going to back down. So if you try to use your muscles on me, it's gonna fail. So you have to really focus on learning how to apply force appropriately, and so that's what their benefit.
Yeah, yeah, and I want to emphasize too for anybody who might be watching this for the first time and not be familiar with your background and just know you. I mean, you're a big guy, 6'1", and am I right? 6'1"
Yeah, and 210 pounds.
and 210 and lean muscle mass. So pretty much all of it. So uh, plus, as you mentioned, not only competitive Tai Chi background, but also competitive karate background, sparring tournaments, all that. When you talk about these smaller women coming and you're able to show them what they're able to do to you honestly, and you're able to be honest about it, and as well as real and accurate. And you're exactly, if you weren't such a nice guy, you'd be exactly the what they would be afraid of, right?
Yeah,
And you show
especially
them how to
someone
take
trained. Yeah, I
exactly
try not
right.
to focus too much on.
So and you show them how to take you apart, and that's, I mean, there's really no more authentic experience than that in terms of building confidence and knowing what you can really do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I try my best to keep it fairly realistic, and I don't just let them get anything on me. Like, just because you push on something doesn't mean I'm gonna collapse. You have to really get the right angle and make it work, or I'm just gonna stand there. And I've had people stand on my knee, and it's like, all right, you're not doing it right. I can't resist you if you do it right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you make them work for it, and they get to see that if they get it right, it doesn't matter how big or strong or tough you are. It's no, there's it works. It's just it works, and there's nothing you're not able. If you're able to resist and tough it out, that means just refine the technique, and that won't be able to happen.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Uh, so, what about that's your third class of the day, and what's your fourth class?
Oh man, I have a long Saturday, don't I? So this is 7:30 to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do this all day. So the final class of the day is Qigong breathwork. So this is where Tai Chi comes from, is Qigong and meditation. So when you learn how to be one with the self, and through meditation, through this breath work, and through like learning how to condition and to increase the temperature in your own body without doing anything but focus, then you really start to get a ton of benefits from Tai Chi, because the Tai Chi is supposed to be done after you've learned this, but people don't really like to do it.
And
It's
that's
a
the
little
traditional
boring,
way, at
a little
least.
slow, and but definitely when someone wants to do it, they have a great time.
Yeah. That's the traditional way is that you have to develop the inner foundation
Yeah.
before you can advance. And of course, modern society is of course not patient enough for that. So,
Oh yeah.
but so many people I mean, so many people say to me in one context or another, "Gosh, I'd really love to start meditating. I've been wanting to start meditating," and people are seeking out benefits of activities like breathwork, meditation, qigong, mind body practices, for all the same reasons that they seek out Tai Chi: health, wellness, longevity, stress reduction, performance enhancement. Um, uh, so this class, it sounds like, is focusing more on those the inner energy work aspects.
Oh yeah.
Um,
A lot of internal work. It's periods of time where we make no sound and we just meditate. And I might look to see how you're doing, maybe come by and say something if you have bad posture, or if you're breathing kind of irregular. But it's very quiet. It's very relaxed. It's very little instruction. It's more of just like, okay, I'm going to tell you one time, and then the next class I'll tell you the same thing, and then third class I'll tell you the same thing, and then from then on you have to ask if you're not sure, because you've heard it 3 times. It's just very straightforward and as calm as possible.
Yeah, so you're trying to provide an atmosphere where people are able to learn about meditation as they in a non-intrusive way as they practice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give
Yeah,
them
that's
space where they feel comfortable. They don't feel like people are just staring at them because they're weird. The one standing next to a tree, and I learned some tree meditations from a qigong master that came out from Korea recently. And yeah, it looks a little weird. I am the ultimate tree hugger or a tree worshiper. That's what it looks like. But in a way, you should worship the trees. They give us so much.
trees are so wonderful. Trees are
Yes,
great.
yes. But
So
I don't
this
actually worship the trees. It's just when you do the meditation, you're breathing near a tree, and so it looks a little odd. And meditation, in many ways, especially qigong, it looks a little odd when you're by yourself. So as a group, it feels much safer to practice as a group.
disperses the weird factor.
It'll bother
Yeah.
you in a group. When you're by yourself, sometimes people will come up to you and be like, "What are you doing?"
Not to mention the group energy field and the power
Oh yeah.
uh,
No, it
of
balances, amplifies. Yeah.
right. Yeah, the power of combining. So, um, so this is a class that focuses more on breathwork, meditation, internal energy work, uh, based based in based in qigong and uh, the in Taoism and um, traditional Chinese medicine philosophy, basically, right? So, and I think that's really cool because uh, there is a lot of meditation is very popular. Buddhist meditation is probably the most popular. Taoist meditation is not as popular, somewhat gaining, but uh, teaching this as kind of as an extension of an integration of qigong practice, because a lot of meditation practice and meditative focus purely on or almost entirely on mind regulation, and maybe somewhat on breath regulation too, and very little emphasis on body regulation. So seeing the meditative practice, the inner practice, is just an extension of the whole thing of being balanced um, uh, internally and externally. That you don't just sit still and meditate all the time. That's what happened to the monks at the Shaolin Temple before Bodhidharma came along and taught them the first Qigong exercises, so
Yep.
that they
Right.
wouldn't be, because they were becoming flaccid and weak from sitting, just doing sitting meditation all the time.
Yeah. I
That's
still have when
that's
I
how the
was
Shaolin Temple came into existence. But yeah,
well,
that's
I was just in China not too long ago, and we were talking about that during some of the discussions about how people still do these long, long sitting practices where their legs fall asleep so much that they're gone. They don't have that body feeling anymore. It just disappears because they sit so long. But that's one of the ways that you get into those higher meditative states is because you feel nothing. Your like whole body is turned off almost. So you're just the mind. And
well, if
really
the
tricky.
way I see it is, if you like to access those really deep meditative states, you have to support your body in the meantime. Because uh, if you didn't do exercises, for example, to replenish and rejuvenate your body, then it wouldn't be able to sustain that kind of practice over the long term. So,
Over a
uh,
long,
in,
long
in
period. Yeah.
yeah, right. Balancing. I mean, if you want to reach the highest meditative states, then you have to balance the whole being, the whole organism, the whole tune the whole
Yeah.
thing, and so I love that this class is approaching meditation from that perspective, as kind of one spoke of this wheel of qigong.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks. Glad you like the class. So,
So who's this class for, and who benefits from it?
any and all people who want to meditate or learn to breathe really well, learn breath as a skill because it is.
Yeah, that's huge. That is a huge thing, because it's so many people don't even have that awareness that breath is something you can learn about, you can get better at. You can learn and develop skill, and you can do it better, you can do it not so good, and you can get better at it, and just the benefits of that, huge benefits of developing the skill of breathing. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh,
physical, mental, spiritual,
yeah, it took me
emotional.
from I was running probably like a 12-minute mile a few years ago, and now the fastest I ever did was 5.5 minute mile. But right now I'm pretty comfortable around 6 to 7 minutes, and it was all through breath work and then plus conditioning. But using breath work really helped me get there in only a short period of time.
Right, amplifies
Yeah.
the benefits of whatever physical training or conditioning you're doing. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
um
matter what sport it is, breath work always enhances it. It will improve your ability in it's tough to even quantify. It's a multitude.
yeah,
Many ways
yeah,
it improves your ability. So
yeah.
really pay attention to your breath. You'll start to build really good habits and really good rhythms. And that's how you get stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Um so the benefits, basically, everything benefits from this, and this is for, you said, anybody. So again, no experience necessary, and
We start from the
or
beginning of every class. So the first
yeah.
every class we start from just breathing for a few minutes, really getting that, and then if we want, we can do standing meditations and moving meditations. But for the most part, we stick with breathing in posture. So standing or sitting meditation.
And also, I'm guessing experience is welcome too, because experienced meditators or practitioners of whatever kind I know you have a fresh approach, and people who are always looking to learn and broaden and deepen their understanding of mind body practices. I know that there's things to be gained as well from what you are offering there.
Yes, definitely. The more advanced people, the better, because when you have advanced people around, the beginners start to learn really quickly because they have
Yeah,
examples. Without
absolutely. Yeah,
examples, it's really tough to just quickly improve. It takes a long time to self-improve only without any teaching experience or a teacher to show you
right.
the way, to at least show you the
Yeah,
way they got there. Because the
yeah.
best way is to learn from a bunch of different teachers. So, just dip your toe
Hmm.
in, and then you'll realize it's deeper than you can reach.
Yeah, and having the more experience, I've totally absolutely found that to be true. The more experience there is in the room, the better
Hmm.
for everybody's learning process. It's great. So um, experienced meditators definitely welcome as well. That's awesome. So these classes we're talking about, I don't know if we mentioned at the beginning, these are all free and open to the public, right?
Yes, yes.
All of these, and
Everything for free. My group classes are always free. I only teach privates for pay, because mostly for the fuel, and it takes a lot of time.
well, so these classes that are hosted through Meetup are free and open to the public, and yeah, we do have other learning resources available for people who are not in San Diego. For people who are in San Diego, I people can always talk to you about private instruction,
Yes.
um, and uh, um, the these but the uh, I wonder if you talk a little bit about um, kind of what you see as the value of having these free offerings available, um,
Okay.
as just from like why what's your passion for that that motivates you to want to do that, to spend half your day
Oh,
uh, doing this. It's got to be something you love, or you would have quit by now. So,
that is
what's the
100%.
passion that's driving it for you?
That's 100% true. Tai Chi or martial arts in general have given me more than I could count, um, in so many different arenas. So sharing them with the next generation of players is just part of being a lifelong practitioner. You practice, you get the skill, and then you turn around and you hand the skill to as many people as you possibly can. And then 10%, maybe 1% of those people you meet and teach will eventually be that 15-year teacher that hands someone else the skill. So that's why I do it, because it was handed to me by people who had been doing it for 10, 15, 20, sometimes 40 years. Uh, that's the first reason I do it. Second reason is it's awesome. And when you teach, it's like being a student 2 times. And when you teach over and over, it's like being a student 1,000 times. So my own skill improves, plus I get to help others. And then the final big reason I do it every single week and wake up at 6 a.m. and get in the cold during the winter. Uh, there's a lot of need for these skills. And as a newsletter we saw recently, we're the only ones who have the knowledge of how to be the best possible you. And we're the ones who have these skills that are core to being a human animal. Uh, if you don't have the natural ability that anyone can access, then you're missing out on a huge part of living a good life. So,
Yeah, and what it means to be fully human. Absolutely, it's like just self-actualization and reaching your full potential. This is, I mean, this is the fundamentally the skill set that martial arts is all about.
constant self improvement every single day, just a little bit better.
Yeah. So we have a few different meetup groups, and what we'll do is in the comments below is we'll post links to those meetup groups for people who are on Meetup and in San Diego. That's the best place to find the listings and information for these, I guess.
Yes, the meetup groups are there, and then they should also be referenced on chaitaichi.org and my Instagram channel. I try to keep people updated on the classes. Circulation
Yeah.
Solutions.
Um, and so in terms of um, private training, you do offer that. What do you recommend that people just contact you directly about that if they want to, if they're interested in private training in these things, or should they come to a meetup and get an experience of what it's like and meet you that way? What's your preferred way for people to reach out to you if they want to go deeper or learn more about this?
So I'm easy to find. I make myself available pretty readily to messages and emails, and my phone number is online, so anyone can come find it. Circulation.life, and then my Facebook, the Chai Tea Tai Chi page, messages there we get right away. And but the easiest way is come to a basics class. It's all free. Come see what it's like, and then we can move on and show you more advanced topics. But if you skip the free class, well, then the first class that we do together as a private is going to be the basic free class because these are the same skills I would teach anybody.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's a great point. So, uh, if you're curious at all about what it's like, and think you might be interested in private training and having a personal mentor to guide you deeper with these practices, then come check us out on Meetup. You don't even have to join the Meetup or even be on Meetup itself to see the information. It's publicly listed, so you can just look up the time and location info, and you can come out and see what it's like. And um, that's if you just want to have a community and a group to meet with on Saturdays, who's pursuing these practices. Then we're available as a resource for that. And the one thing that I would add to that I think we mentioned before a little bit is Qigong to really enjoy the benefits. This isn't something you can't just practice once a week and get the full benefits. I mean, you'll get a little bit of benefits and you'll get some, uh, but probably not even 1/7 as much. I'd say if you go from like practicing 1 day a week to practicing say 6 days a week, it's going to be more than 6 times the benefit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I kind of see what you're trying to say.
And
Definitely,
like
when I
to
started, I was doing
to really
so I just got into it and I dove head first and really adapted to it. But it's hard to do that. So you start slow, one class a week, one class. One
well,
class
I
a
mean,
day,
not
eventually,
everybody is
great.
not everybody is going to be able to like dive in and do it really intensely. And the great things you don't have to, but being consistent and what I was getting at is if you're coming if you're practicing once a week, that's enough to get some benefits. But the real benefit comes from having a daily practice.
Yeah,
You really need to practice more than just once a week and to engage the full benefits and you what we our curriculum is designed around teaching you to have a personal, a robust and resilient, personalized daily mind body energetic hygiene practice. And so, by all means, come join the group every week. But we hope to encourage you to also develop this as a way of life and something that you integrate on a daily basis in order to enjoy the full benefits that this practice has to offer.
yeah. just come find us on Patreon and support us. But then you can also join our online community, and we can engage with you directly, teach you a lot of stuff over the internet. Solo practice is actually fairly easy to teach over the internet. It's the partner practice that requires some buddies and requires a little bit of in-person person to teacher
Yeah,
interaction.
that's a good point. For developing that solo daily practice, we have online resources that are dedicated to that, free resources on YouTube, as well as an online learning community that has 12 hours plus of instructional video footage that goes way into detail with the solo aspect of the practice. And there are also coaching options available. There's different tiers of access you can sign up for, ranging from $10 a month to $100 a month, including coaching options plus access to all the learning material. So for if you're not in San Diego, if you don't have access to teachers, we've put these resources together to help anyone develop a deep practice for themselves. And if you are lucky enough to be in San Diego, then you get to learn from Andrew himself. And we hope that if this is something that you're interested in, you've been meaning to get around to for a while, we hope that you'll get around soon and and come downtown and try out some of these wonderful classes that Andrew's been telling us about.
Thanks very much, Dane. That was very nice.
Yeah, so that's I think about all we got, all the fun we can have for today, about all we got time for. So we'll wrap up for now, and thanks for being here. Thanks for everything that you do, Andrew, and sharing so much of yourself, and thanks everyone for joining us. And if you've been wanting to try Tai Chi, now is the perfect time.
It's always perfect time.
Yes, 100%. Good morning and prosper. Hitting the button now. I'll see you later.